You're sitting across from her at a diner at 9:30 on a Tuesday night. Her phone lights up for the third time in 10 minutes. She flips it face down, apologizes, and says it's nothing. But you already know it's one of the fathers. Maybe the first, maybe the second, maybe the third. You're not even sure anymore. You nod, you smile, you tell yourself you're being mature. You tell yourself you're different. You tell yourself you can handle it. And in that moment, before the coffee even cools, you've already signed up for a life you didn't fully think through. Here's the thing. A lot of men walk into situations like this believing that good intentions, patience, and effort will somehow neutralize complexity. They think love alone smooths out logistics. They think being understanding is the same thing as being prepared. And that's where the trouble starts. My name is Dean, and I would like to talk about 7 hard truths about dating women with multiple baby daddies. If you're someone who has trouble defining, communicating, and enforcing relationship boundaries, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now look, before anyone gets defensive, let's set the frame clearly. This is not about shaming women. This is not about demonizing single mothers. This is not about pretending men don't have agency. This is about reality. It's about incentives, patterns, logistics, psychology, and long-term consequences. And most importantly, it's about you owning your decisions instead of drifting into situations you're not equipped to handle. Here's what most people don't realize. Complexity in relationships doesn't announce itself loudly. It shows up quietly, over time, through scheduling conflicts, emotional carryover, financial pressure, divided loyalty, and chronic negotiation. And when multiple fathers are involved, that complexity doesn't just double, it compounds. Hard truth number 1. You are never just dating her. You are entering an existing system. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not involved with the kids like that, or the fathers aren't really around, or she says I'm different. Okay, here's the thing. Even if the fathers are inconsistent, absent, or difficult, they are still part of the structure. Court dates, custody schedules, child support, emotional residue, co-parenting conflicts, holidays, birthdays, emergencies. None of that disappears because you're a good guy. Psychologically, every unresolved bond leaves an imprint. Attachment theory tells us that repeated relationship breakdowns, especially involving children, increase emotional defensiveness. That doesn't make someone bad. It makes them guarded. But that guardedness shows up as control issues, testing behavior, emotional volatility, and hypervigilance. And guess who absorbs that? You do. This is where it gets really interesting. Men often believe they're being chosen. In reality, they're often being added to a system already under strain. And if you don't understand that system, it will shape you instead of the other way around. Hard truth number 2. Your role will be ambiguous, and ambiguity breeds resentment. What exactly are you supposed to be? Are you a partner? A provider? A helper? A stepfather? A boyfriend who's not allowed to discipline? A wallet without authority? A shoulder to cry on but not a voice in decisions? When roles are unclear, effort increases and respect decreases. That's not opinion. That's behavioral economics. When people receive benefits without clear structure, they adapt to benefit, not the person providing it. Real life example. A man starts contributing $200 a month to help out. Then it becomes rides to school. Then it's babysitting on weekends. Then it's helping with rent when one of the fathers falls behind. Before he knows it, he's contributing time, money, and emotional labor without any actual authority or long-term security. And if he ever pulls back, he's labeled selfish, not because he is, but because the system adjusted to his contribution. Look, responsibility without authority is a recipe for burnout. And burnout kills attraction faster than conflict ever could. Hard truth number 3. Past patterns are the best predictors of future stress. Now, you might be thinking, that's not fair. Everyone deserves a fresh start. Sure, and you also deserve to assess patterns honestly. Multiple children by multiple men usually indicate a pattern of impulsive decision-making, weak boundary enforcement, or short-term emotional prioritization over long-term planning. Again, that doesn't make someone evil. It makes them human. but it does mean you need to pay attention. Statistically speaking, relationship stability decreases with each additional blended family variable. More co-parents equals more schedules, more conflicts, more legal entanglements, and more emotional spillover. That's not judgment. That's logistics. Here's the thing. Men get into trouble when they confuse empathy with denial. You can understand someone's past and still decide it's not a future you want to manage. Hard truth number 4. You will be tested more than you will be appreciated, at least at first. When a woman has experienced multiple relational failures, consciously or not, she often tests for staying power. She's asking, will you leave like the others? And those tests don't come as questions. They come as stress. Cancel plans because of baby daddy drama. Emotional outbursts tied to unresolved conflict. Comparison statements. Boundary pushing. Financial emergencies. Loyalty tests disguised as loyalty requests. If you lack firm boundaries, you'll overextend trying to prove you're different. And the irony is, the more you overextend, the less stable you appear. Stability isn't proven by sacrifice alone. It's proven by consistency, standards, and calm leadership. And most men fail here because they think saying no will cost them a relationship. In reality, never saying no costs them themselves. Hard truth number 5. You will inherit consequences you didn't create. This one stings, so listen carefully. You didn't choose her past. But if you choose her present, you choose the ripple effects of that past. That means legal issues that resurface years later. That means teenagers acting out against authority they never bonded with. That means financial obligations that limit shared goals. That means emotional fatigue that has nothing to do with you personally but still affects you daily. Here's what most people don't realize. Love doesn't insulate you from stress. It exposes you to it. And stress tests character, patience, and long-term vision. Ask yourself a hard question. Are you prepared to absorb pressure without becoming resentful? Because resentment doesn't always explode. Sometimes it just quietly poisons connection. Hard truth number 6. If you don't define your boundaries early, the system will define them for you. This is where men lose their spine. They wait, they adapt, they hope clarity will emerge organically. It won't. You must decide early what you will and will not do. Financially, emotionally, logistically, parental involvement, living arrangements, discipline, long-term expectations. And here's the key. Boundaries are not ultimatums. They are filters. They reveal compatibility early, so you don't discover incompatibility 5 years later when leaving costs 10 times more. If stating your boundaries causes tension, that tension was already there. You just finally turn the lights on. Hard truth number 7. Love without structure is not noble. It's reckless. This is the hardest truth of all. Men often frame their willingness to endure chaos as virtue. They call it loyalty. They call it patience. They call it unconditional love. But unconditional love without discernment isn't strength. It's avoidance. It's a way to feel needed without being respected. It's a way to postpone hard decisions. Here's the thing. You are not obligated to carry burdens you didn't choose just to prove you're a good man. Good men lead with clarity, not guilt. So what do you do with all of this? First, get brutally honest with yourself. Not about how much you care, but about what you can realistically sustain without resentment. Second, define your non-negotiables. Time, money, role, authority, long-term vision. Write them down. If you can't articulate them, you can't enforce them. Third, communicate calmly and early, not emotionally, not defensively, clearly, and then observe behavior, not promises. Fourth, be willing to walk away if alignment doesn't exist. Walking away from chaos is not failure. It's self-respect. And finally, remember this, choosing wisely is not about fear. It's about stewardship of your life, your energy, and your future family. If this resonated with you, download the free ebook in the description box below. Like, share, and subscribe if this helped you see your situation more clearly. And then take one step today to live with more structure, more honesty, and more self-leadership.